Hi, good morning. We're going to continue working on our album today. We're almost at the end, which is so cool. A lot of fun things in the album, but it went fast. So I really like that. I know you guys do too. One thing that I did, and I'll show you on the other one, I did go back through after the last live and I put in the silver. And I forgot, I need to mute my. Okay. And I wanted to let you know this video is going to be, this one's on Facebook because I'd already started it there. And I want you to know, Facebook, there are no copyrights. Our mine and another designer's, our videos are getting hit supposedly with copyrights in the background, I guess, but there's no music. As you can see, there's dogs barking, and those are my dogs, so they are copyrighted to me. It's just crazy. And then, so if today we get the same issue, I'm just going on YouTube, but you'll get notifications on Facebook. And I think YouTube is better to watch on anyway. So we'll see what happens. We're going to work on the front of page 4. And today is a business day, so there will be some background noise here and there. I'll try and mute. But I didn't want to prolong this album by going just on Thursdays. So on page 4, we just have a very fun, simple page that we're going to do. And favorite dies from Heartfelt Creations shows that they should be back in stock at Heartfelt Creations the end of July. So I'll order more. And we're going to create this little page. We're going to do this back page. And we'll basically be done. We'll finish up. I was going to do the video on Thursday. I was going to do all this on a video, but we can finish up on Thursday, our regular time, and we'll be done. I want to show you then on the album we've been working at. On, as you can see, it's the navy cardstock. Let me pull the camera out just a hair. And I did go in and do, hi, gal. Are you still on vacation? I did use the silver cardstock, and I did go ahead with 1/2-inch strips in between. And you only need, what, 2 of them? 3 of them. We're going to go ahead and work on the front of page 4 and the back with the Tim Holtz frame. And that's where we'll be today. So let's start with the measurements, which I did put on Scrapbookers. Country Craft Creations, so they're already up there. Oops, let me get this page out. And the front of page 4, you need 2 pieces. I think those are the leftovers. Oh, you are still there. How fun. So it's actually 7 by 4. Did I not cut these correctly? I didn't. I cut this 7 by 10. We don't need this 10. We need this one to be 7 by 10. And I just need to cut this one down to 7 inches. Yes, I am everywhere. You're everywhere too. Hello, it's 7 in the evening. Well, this is a good time then. We are going to have a 7-inch. I'm not getting my camera in. We're going to have a 7-inch by 4-inch and a 7 by 10. And very simple to create this little trifold. When creating this, just think of, this is a card we folded in half and then we added the 4-inch piece on, and it gives us that accordion look. So easy. 7 by 10, we're going to start with the 10-inch across the top and score at 5 inches. Right. We're going to score that at 5 inches. And the 7 by 4-inch with the 4-inch across the top, score at 1/2 inch. I know, even when you're on vacation. That's really cool. I have a new chair. Sorry, I'm trying to get used to my new chair and where things need to go. Every chair is a little bit different. So let's just fold this in half and burnish the score line. Now my fold will be on the left-hand side. It will open to the right. Then we'll burnish that 1/2 inch and miter the corners. Oh, are you done already? I'll bet you look beautiful, Tanya. She got her hair done. And I did round the corners. I've been playing with the new ink by Tim Holtz. It's gorgeous, but it's kind of messy. You know, when they're brand new. And I did go ahead and I rounded the corners to this back piece. That will be down on the page. Hi, David. How are you today? Or tonight, actually. It's evening for you. And we are going to just place this on top. Like so. Making sure we cut everything the same. Ooh, it's only 11 and I'm tired. Sorry. I've been getting up so early, which is okay. And we got good news today. They're putting the drains in over at the store, and they will be pouring the cement next week. So we're going to get our floor. And right after the live, I'm going to run over there and check out the building. Whoops, I need a cloth, paper towel here. Oh no, David. Well, I hope you get well soon. But, you know, get the cold, boost the immune system. That's how I always look at it. Super, super easy. Oh, I love it too, Stacy. It's gorgeous, that color. And then I did cut, went ahead and using the Heartfelt Creations, I cut the tag. And I did cut the top piece, which is so nice to have. And I went ahead and I just scored at 1/4 inches just to give it some texture. Gina, all of the scoring, all of the measurements are in the description of the video on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations. And then just, so if you are just making your own tags, I just would make them 4 by 6. We'll glue that on here in a second. And I did place it so it sticks over the top somewhat. You can set it inside a little bit more if you want. But I just centered it because we're going to use this cut apart from your 12 by 12 sheet. And I cut it all the way to the blue border. So it comes out 2 3/4 by 4 1/2. And I just used some silver. There's my camera up there. 2 7/8 by 3 5 or 4 5/8. Sorry. And then we're going to mat that on there, and that's going to be part of the closure. And then I am going to use a ribbon, and I need 2 pieces that are 12 inches. And I do apologize. This is a mess. See this mess? But it was left over from some of our kits from a while ago. And I don't have it in stock, so you just want to use any ribbon or seam binding that matches yours. And since we're not selling this as a kit, I just thought I'll use it up. But you can use seam binding. You can use any ribbon you like. So we're going to go ahead and get this placed down now. And I'm just going to use right now 2 pieces that are 12 inches. Sorry, my hand's right in the camera there. Because I want to place them on the back side before I put this down. Sorry, I got the yawns. Let's see. Oh, Stacy. Oh, you're welcome. Yes. Don't forget, if you have the Wilbur rewards or your Wilbur book, you got to get those sent in by July 30th. That's the last day. Okay, this is 7 inches, so about 3.5 is my center. Well, 3.5 is my center. So what I'm doing is going to go ahead and mark it halfway through. Just a little piece of score tape. We'll put the ribbon down. You only need about 1 inch or so in the back. Or you can go all the way across. Totally up to you. And that will go down, but we're going to go ahead and mat the page. We'll mat our little booklet and we'll get that put into the book. And I did already do the cutting so that you guys didn't have to wait through all that. I just used, really, you can choose. It's going to be pretty much covered. This one was the 8x8 size, so it was smaller graphics. This one's I'm just going to use this piece because it was a leftover from what we cut earlier. And it's 5 7/8 by 7 7/8. But you're not going to see a lot of it. So you don't have to be super picky. Now, I know I've been using a different colored ink. And I really wanted to use the Tim Holtz. The brand new one we just got in. Because it really is, it's gorgeous. But it is, well, you know, when it's new, when you open those new ink pads, it's bright. So I'm not going too heavy, but it looks so good. You'll see when we make our little fan there. I love it. So really good color. Really good color. And very soon, Sally will be demoing all these colors. I mean, all the different, you know, there's the distress, there's the distress ink, there's the oxide ink, there's embossing powder. You know, he comes out with all of it, so it's really a nice set. She's going to be playing with it for you guys. I like the blue, really like the blue. Like I said, I don't usually mix the color of distress inks, but I like it. All right, let's go ahead and mat this before we put this down. And then when you do put it down, you might want to think, do you want to leave it as another pocket? I just put the whole thing down, but you certainly can do that. So let's go ahead and mat the tag first. And then you'll need a, well, if you want to punch a hole, I'll be punching a hole in our tag. I'll use my big one. I don't know where my small one is. That's okay. I like this big guy. I'll just punch a hole right in the center. That's why I like this. It's very easy to line up. Oh, for the back. If you want to cover that, the back of your tag, you certainly can, because it might show. Totally up to you. Hello, Linda. And if you are on Scrapbookers, well, actually, if you're going to be involved in the virtual retreat coming up in 17 days, Sally has started her countdown. You may have seen on the General Store virtual retreat page her morning show. If not, and you are in the virtual retreat, you want to get on there and go see it, because it was hilarious, just so you guys know. Let's go ahead and miter those corners. And mat. Let's get our covers matted. And I've already pre-cut from the bells, and which you're going to cut. You'll cut a 3 1/4. No, excuse me, 3 3/8, because that's 3 1/2. And it's 6 7/8 round the corners. We'll ink those. Super simple. This is a really easy flaps to put on, but it adds dimension to the page. And for the inside, this comes off of your Liberty Bell. So I took the Liberty Bell on this side. Again, it's 3 3/8 by 6 7/8, and it will sit on the inside of my flap. Hi, Vicki. Thanks for joining us. Today feels more like a Monday than a Tuesday. I'm just going to go ahead and put this down. And also, if you have been waiting for the 8-ounce and 16-ounce bottles of art glitter glue, they will be in, they're being delivered tomorrow. So be watching the website. We'll get those inventory updated the minute it arrives at the doorstep. And on the outside, and we'll put the cut apart that I showed you a moment ago that we layered on the silver. We'll put it on last. Oh, yay, Vicki. What the cream card? Well, we have two. I have an, oh, here I can show you. So can you see this one? This is craft, and it's not that harsh brown. Hi, Judy. It's the craft color, and The ivory is this color. It's called linen. So it's an ivory linen. Now there's an summer ivory and it's more yellow. It has a yellow tint to the linen. So this is all the ivory. One thing I didn't show you, so I used the ivory on the waterfall. I didn't go back and show you on the finished. We created the waterfall, but I had used craft in red because my cardstock on this one is navy blue. So there's a good picture of the craft, which looks really nice with this paper. Oh, and that's right. I didn't show you. So after we had done these, I went back instead of doing the red ivory because this is the blue cardstock. And I went ahead and just mirrored what we did over on this page so that it kind of blended in nicely. So there's your ivory. I mean, there's your craft. And of course, the ivory is actually called linen. And I like, well, you can see the difference. The linen's quite stark. It's quite, bright, lighter than the craft. You could use navy. You still could use red with this. You could use gray, any one of our gray colors. So you can use a lot of different colors with this paper collection. Okay, now on the inside, I took my 8x8 piece with the postcards, and actually I'm going to use the back side. Again, I cut this to 4 7/8 by 6 7/8. I'm going to continue to use the blue. So again, this one is 4 7/8 by 6 7/8 long. And when we turn this, oh, whoops. Well, let's go ahead and let's put this down first. And I do just glue the tag right on in the center. And just decide where you want it. Again, you still can put a photo on there or anything that you want, basically. We're going to add or cut apart there. And then for the inside, I kind of broke it up. And so what I did is I just took the red graphics, just so I can show you how I cut it. So that's our 8x8 sheet. And all I needed for the left-hand side, because I broke it up so that my 2x3 photos could go here, or journaling, whatever you want to put there. So we'll have, I wanted this eagle. Now this is a little bit different. This was a scrap from the way I cut the papers then. I didn't have that scrap, so I'm going to use the other side. That way we're not wasting anything. So from the left-hand side, just cut your strip if you're going to follow the same design at 2 by 5 7/8. No, 6 7/8. Sorry, because we're working with 7 inches long. So 2 by 6 7/8. You'll just have these little pieces, and we're not going to use this piece right now. And then on the left-hand side, I'll just put, on the right-hand side, I'll put from the right-hand side this piece at 2 5/8 by 6 7/8. And then we'll put the red in between. Or you can mat it solid. You can mat it just red if you don't want to use your pattern paper. Oh, I've got to do my corners. And part 4 will be on Thursday. We'll finish. Like I was gonna, like I said, I was gonna do a video in video number 2. Now it's so hot. I gotta take my sweater off. It's cold down in my studio when the air conditioning comes on. So now I gotta take my sweater off. I was going to do a video. I just didn't think this would go so smooth. I mean, this album, you gotta admit, it was really smooth to put together. Even with the pop-ups. So Thursday, we'll be doing our normal 5:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and we'll finish the album up. Oh, wait. No, I have to do it in the morning that day. I forgot. So it's 11 o'clock on Thursday. We're going to finish it up. So I've already cut the red pieces. And I have one that's 2 7/8 by 6 7/8 for this side. And I knew I was going to have to trim it down. I always cut them a little bit bigger before I put them down. Okay, how do you, oh, there it is. Let's see, how on earth did I already lose that? This one I just cut at 2 1/2. Like, no, that's not the right piece. I've already lost it. Wow. How do you lose it so fast? Oh, well, I do. So I'm going to cut 1/8 of an inch off of here. And I'll give you the measurement for here, but it looks like, yeah, looks like I've lost mine. Have you ever wondered if there was something on your desk, like a black hole that just sucks in the paper after you cut it? So I'm going to take 1/8 of an inch off because that's what it feels like. Wow. It was here and now it's gone. Perfect, because I want that space there. So this comes out to be 2 3/4 on mine. Just measure yours. 2 3/4 by 6 7/8. And I will measure the right hand side, but I don't have, oh yes, I do have another piece of red. I see it. We'll cut a new piece of red. Oops, I have to cut it off a new piece. And this side, let's go ahead and cut it at 2 1/8. And then the 6 7/8. After I cut it, I'll find it. Okay, for me, 2 1/8 by 6 7/8 was good. The only difference is I put them on the wrong side. So much for me saying the album went smooth, right? No, I went pattern, solid, but this one we're going to go the opposite. And it's just fine. Well, hi, Tanya. Can I ask you guys something? If you've been on YouTube, you see the comments. How is it I get hit with, or not only I, but the designers, anybody, we're getting hit with copyrights for sure. I have no idea why. But on YouTube, it's constant when I'm live. I just blocked another person with their sex videos that they want us to go look at. And they let those go on during our live shows. And it's absolutely crazy. I just blocked one. And yet I don't get it. I'm not getting this whole, the bots and things that are supposed to, I don't know. I have no idea the rhyme or reason, but it's just so odd to me. So if you saw that, I did get rid of it. Let's go ahead and tie this for a minute. Let's put it down. I'll cut that after I get it all put into the book. And then I'm just going to center this in my book and glue it down. Let me get the ribbons out of the way. Maybe I'll just hold them. Like I said, if you want to turn this into a pocket, just do 3 sides. I'm just making mine permanent. And we'll center it. And basically, this is the last page for measurements. And I know Tanya was saying that she was going to write it up for us. Thank you, Tanya. I'm going to re-burnish that. And I'm going to grab my cut apart. And I did show it to you, so I know it's still here. Hi, Crystal. Oh, in Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations, we have a Facebook group. Oh, you are watching from there. It's listed at the top of each video. Now that we are done with the pages, I will make this into a guide. So you'll go up to the guides tab and you'll see all of the videos and the cutting guides just as soon as this video is done. But you can right now find them just by looking at the past videos. You have to go into where the playlists are in your photos. I know it's so complicated just to get to them. That's why we'll put it into the guides. So as soon as I'm done, it'll be in guides. And Tanya said she will have it done once, and then the measurements will be put on. And she'll also make sure it's in the guides along with me. We'll make sure we get it there for you guys. And on YouTube, I will make a playlist, and it'll be all American playlist. So if you're on my channel watching, you'll just go to my videos and then playlist. I know, I wish there was just like a library. You just go in and they're there. But we have to go all the roundabout ways. And this is video number 3. On videos 1, 2, and 3, you'll see I posted the cutting guides in the description of on the post. And then see, that's going to sit. I'm just going to center it on the page and have it sticking halfway over. So you might want to map the back, which I did. And I'm just going to take this leftover piece. I'm really not even matting the whole thing. It measures, so I'll cut a piece that's 4.5 long. Just because you are going to see the back. And I'll just cut it 1 3/4 and 4.5. If you don't mind the back being plain, then you don't have to worry about that, of course. And it'll be on this edge here. This side will be glued down. Now we'll have a nice finished back side. But when I glue it down, I just mark it with my finger. And I'll overlap just a hair. And that page is finished. Cool. Now we're going to do the fun one. Oh no, I thought all these pages were fun. Okay, and I'm going to cut my tails off here. Now we get to do the back of page 4. And the back of page 4 is our shaker element. You can actually use any frame. You can even use a little wooden one from the dollar store. You can use, hi Sheila, you can use a Simple Stories. You know how they have the chipboard frames? The Tim Holtz frames that we have, they're new. They are thicker, so this one was really thick. I'll show you. I'm not going to double it like I did here. And then we'll create all this fun little stuff. And let me see. I've got my phone going crazy. Okay. The frame is smaller, which is okay. And it's brown instead of white. I wish they did put 2 frames of each, but that's okay. It is smaller and it's still going to work. So the first thing you want to do is cut a piece of cardstock for the back of your page, which I did. And then it's just the other side of the bells that we used here from the 12 by 12. And it is going to be, again, 5 7/8 by 7 7/8. And lots of decoration here. Then I'm going to have the window. And I will have another piece of cardstock behind there to make it look like, you know, we're looking out or that there's a scenery. And you're going to want some shakers, parts, or glitter. And I have, again, some leftovers from what we had on the kit that just happened to be gold. And I did put a little bit of glitter in there, which this one is gone. And I can take it out of my sprayer. Didn't realize I used all that one. And I've got just a little bit of pieces from from a Christmas one. And I'm just going to take those little sparkle things out. You can use little buttons. You can use anything. But I will take some of the white snowy glitter out because I liked how it looks with the oh, we're getting sequins everywhere with the sequins. So we do want to put down our matting first. Love this blue. Oh, you'll want a piece of acetate also if you're going to make a shaker. You don't have to make it into a shaker. It can just be a window. Oh, you bet, Linda. And you know what, Linda? I used 8x8 and 12x12, and it is on countrycraftcreations.com. And I'll see if Tanya will post the link. So my website's countrycraftcreations.com, and this is called All American. And I did use an 8x8 and a 12x12 paper pack in this so that you have the smaller sizes. See, this is the smaller, the larger, and here's your bigger images. So I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to grab my window and my piece of acetate. Just measure your piece first. This is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I'm going to cut this at 2 5/8. And I do carry the acetate in the 12x12. And I know it's hard to see what I'm cutting here. Did I say 3 or 4? I said 3. 3 3/4. So 3 5/8. Well, that's weird because I don't know how to make anyone the moderator during a live on YouTube anymore with all their lovely changes. So see, the acetate then will be put. Oh, thank you, Linda. We'll put the acetate on first. Isn't that cool? I'm going to just turn this into a window. For me, the easiest thing too is just when you're working with acetate, I just keep the glass cloth to keep that clean. And I like to use just score tape to put it on with. Oh, on YouTube? I'll look at that, Tanya. Just making sure it's not going to go over the edges. So we don't want it to show. And I am going to go down the middle on the acetate. I like it to be secure. Okay, I'll look at that. We'll get that all changed. Okay. I'm just looking to see if any of the score tape is going to show. There we go. Yeah, I'll have Tanya, if you'll go ahead and post it here in Facebook, though, I can grab the link for now because I can't go on and figure that out right this moment. So if you will post it in Facebook right here in the comments, because it shows you're on Facebook, then I will change that right after the live, and I'll grab it and post it. It should show up though. Okay, so I've got that all on. Acetate's hard to see. And I did get it over too far, but I'll tell you what, once it's down, it's down. See, it's sticking over. There it is. Or a dryer sheet, anything you want to do so that it's not staticky, or you want your acetate to be clean. Then I'm going to use the strips. We do sell these. I sell these in the store. Love these. I'm just going to line the outside of our window. Now, if you don't have foam, I know some crafters do use the strips of chipboard you can put down, or you can use foam dots. You just want to get them really close together so that whatever shaker material you use doesn't fall through the holes. And this isn't really high, but I don't want to double it again, even though I made bigger gussets, because it just, my book, the original one, was so fat. I'm just making sure it's down. And then I'll be able to put some shaker material in there. And now you want to pick out what's going to go behind. And for me, I'm going to use the 8x8 sheet for that. You could even use a cut apart, but you're going to, this one has, well, the other one did too, had that frame in the center. So it's a window, and I just want to kind of use the skyline. Make it look like the skyline back behind there. And I'll cut the same, well, no, I'm going to cut it the same as the window. So we'll start with 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. Won't that look cool? Okay, take an 1/8 of an inch off the width. Just make sure it's fitting on what you're using. And tons of different ways to do this. I think I'll take a little off the top also. But I lay this down first. And one other thing I did before I lay this down. So I used another Heartfelt Creations die, and I used the scallop circle. The outer ring. So it comes with all those different sizes. And originally I was going to use this as I was going to use it as the decorative window covering, but it didn't work well. So I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to use it just as an extra layering element that's going to go behind this. So I want it to actually go down before we put the window down. I'm just going to cut about, what, a third of it. And I did have it stick over the page a little bit. I'm just looking for some layering, some, adding more color to the page. Trim those corners in so they sit behind the paper. And then I can trim it again if I need. Add some blue to that edge, even though you won't see that under. If anything's sticking out, you can trim it. And then decide where you want that image to be. There's no glue on that edge because it's going to stick over the page. The window's going on top, but before we do that, we want to add our shaker elements and putting that underneath there to kind of stabilize my book so it doesn't flop. Everything's falling out. And I do carry these in the store, so I've got the bigger bags in the shaker elements. And they're the gold, oh my gosh, gold metal. I can't remember exactly. But remember, I don't have much height here. The last one, I put 2 layers. And it really made the book thick. So I didn't want to add 2 layers again. So I've got quite a bit here. Just dump out what's left in here. Try and get rid of this bag. Some little shiny things. I usually dump these out into trays. I don't know. This one was just laying in the drawer, and I thought, we're going to use this baby up. See, there's more good stuff in there. Come on out. Static everywhere. You can hardly see them. I can see them. You'll be able to see them, but... And this is glitter. This is the glitter sprayer. I love it. I'm going to add some of the glitter in here because it is the 4th of July, right? Flatten things out. And I'm going to clean up the edge. If you have something that you can clean up the edge with, you want it to stick. Don't blow on it. I've done that before. How many of you have done it? Come on, admit it. Y'all said, oh, I'm just going to blow on it. And you're like, oh, crap. Don't blow on it. Do not blow on it. It's everywhere. All righty. Let's take off. Run your finger to make sure there's nothing under there, because if there is, this isn't going to seal well. Backing off. Now I do add wet adhesive with this, especially the art glitter glue, because I'm not going to trust that that adhesive on the foam is going to be permanent. This way it is permanent. And it's going to give you some moving time. It's going to give you some extra hold. And you have to kind of work, there we go, work things out the first time or two. And then just clean up any glue that might be coming out. And then we're going to make the curtain. So I just kind of did a sample one. There's a lot of different ways to make these half rosettes. I made it this way, so I had kind of a ledge. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. I'll give you the sizes for both of them. But I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and then I did use my star punch. And I'll tie a bow to put right in the center. So the whole idea was to make it look like the window valance. So we're going to make another one. And because I'm going to be using this for a lot of other rosettes that we're going to do on the front, I'm going to go ahead and score this whole piece of paper in just a second. Now I'm going to use the stars. It is kind of hard. Hi, Debbie. So this ended up upside down. Oh, so another thing you can do, I think that's really cute, is to put this on upside down. Well, it's not really upside down. You can use it at the top of a window. And doing that, though, I would have put it down more. You can even set these up. So if you're putting something on top of a 3D project, but like I said, there's other ways to do this. This is how I did this one. And then that's from the punch. And we're going to be making them on Thursday, so I want to have them ready anyway. The bigger ones that are going to go on the cover. So I'm just going to take this piece. Oh, I took my mat off. It's 12 inches. This one just happens to be 7.5. I was using it for, we used it for other stuff. And I'm going to use the star side. But I'm going to take this whole piece and score it at 1 1/4. If you don't want to do that, then you can cut. This is a bigger rosette, this one, so you can see the size difference. Sort of. You can layer them too. This one, I cut a strip of 12 by 12 inch length, and then this was 2 inches, so 2 by 12. This is 1.5 by 12, and the one I'm going to do next is going to be about, I think, 1 1/4. But if you score it now, you'll have it all scored, and you won't have to go back. And we're just going to score at 1/4 inch all the way down. Or you can use your Cricut. There's a lot of cut files for your rosettes. Or you can do them by hand. Okay, I'm back. I was on mute. All right, so we're just going to keep scoring all the way down. Yeah, I love rosettes. I don't like the glue gun. You have to use the glue gun, but we're going to do it. Now, there are, I think, tutorials on the half rosettes. I've never found one. If you know of one, let me know. Otherwise, this is how I make them. I'm trying to go fast. Tanya, will you do me a favor if you're still out there in our virtual land? Let Sally know we're live. She keeps texting me, and I'm like, does she not get her notifications? Okay, now this is where I grab my glue gun. Let's get it going. Super hot. I'm going to now cut my strip. So your strip width, if you haven't made rosettes before, the width is what determines the size of your rosette. So mine's going to be this time 1 1/4 instead of 1 1/2. I feel 1 1/2. Let's see, maybe it wasn't too big. Let me double check. I'm going to go 1 1/4. If I don't like it, I'll use the 1 1/2. Even though the song is upside down. So now I'm just going to cut the 1 1/4 inch strip. And the fun begins. We just have to accordion fold back and forth. Don't worry if it's not super straight. So these are something good if you're just looking for a relaxing, just something that is not a lot of measurements. It's kind of relaxing. It's like making flowers. I didn't want to go. I'm just going back through and re-squeezing. Okay, so I'll be using this side. And then I'm just going to cut one of the 1/4 inches off so it fits inside of my, I like to overlap them. It's going to fit on top of there. So I'll just add my adhesive. And then while that dries, it doesn't matter. You just need a circle. It doesn't matter what size. It just needs to be a circle. And we're going to cut it in half, actually. We just need a half of it. And then I know we could have left that side open, but this is what I do. I put it down, and then I kind of decide. So if you don't want to connect them together, that's an option I should have showed you. But then I just cut it because I like to see the size of it before I make it. Squeeze it again. I'm just going to hold my finger here and kind of fan it out. And I need to let the crew know to be quiet. Sorry. Hello, Sally. Sally, that is already in the box. So see, that's how we're going to put it together. And it's going to be half. Like I said, there are other ways. I know there's tons of ways to do it. So if you have a simpler way, I'm just going to add some adhesive on these first two. We're just going to squeeze those together where we added the glue. Thank you. Sally, those are already in your box. We need to hold these for a minute. Yes, hello, Sally. Now, the only reason I'm having all this bulk at the top too, like I said, you can make it without it, is I wanted it to be a ledge because my frame sits up. So I wanted this bigger piece because then it will lay over the top of the frame. But to make it this way, here's what we're going to do. This is where you need your hot glue gun. Let's see if this thing's ready. This thing gets so hot. Oh, and there it goes. It burns you. So half circle, I'm just going to add glue to it. Come on, glue. There we go. Okay. I'm just placing it on there and I'm going to scrunch it up again. Except it's not playing nice on this end. There we go. Don't worry if it goes cockeyed. We're going to be trimming and cutting. I need more glue because that was drying. Just going to hold it till it grabs, which both sides did not grab because it was drying. You're not washing clothes by the creek. I need another glue stick. You are lieth again. How dare you, Sally Jean? Tell you, if I'm scared of this glue gun. This thing gets so hot. It takes skin off. Oh my gosh. So as we're going along, just add glue where you need. You're not going to see this. Usually it's not this difficult. I don't know why we're having difficulty here. I'm just going to add it in the center. We're going to squish it together and hold it. Until it dries. This one takes a while to dry. This glue gun. So you can see then I added a button on this one. And I'm going to cut a little header there. But on this one, the star might be too big. Oh, might be, might not. I still like it. And I'm going to use, the other, oh, I don't need to. I don't even need to cut it. I'm just going to cut it how I want it, basically. And you can also take ribbon across there, which does look nice, and it hides anything you don't want to see. Oh, this is the hottest darn glue gun. It does. It makes me nervous. Then you can wrap it however you like. I'm just going to add some of the glue on the edge and pull it over to finish the ends. Yeah, I love that these don't have a cord, but they're hot. They're extremely, extremely hot. So I deal with it. Now the top, you're not going to see. There will be a bow. So there's the smaller. And I'm going to put foam tape on that back edge. And there's the bigger one. So you definitely can pick. I like the smaller, and I like that it matches my circle here. So I'm going to use that one. Just take 2 rows here. Another, I'm going to make it one more higher. Oops. It doesn't have to really go edge to edge. Just there in the center. Oh, yeah, this one is pretty hot. It does do that. See, it's going to sit perfect. So yeah, definitely needs two layers. That for a moment. I used seam binding for the other bow, and I didn't grab any seam binding. I do have twine. I do have the red. Yeah, it goes through a lot of glue sticks because it's so hot. That's going to be too big. That's a better size. I really want it to sit inside there. I really want the star up there. Maybe a smaller star. And then the ribbon behind. I really like the star. Or a button. You can use just about anything you like. See, that darn thing is so hot. Okay, once it dries, I can play with the bow. There's my star. Love the star. It's got to go on. I would stick over the top. You know, I could even put now gold on top there if I wanted. I could make another star and see the glitter that's inside there is going around. Love that. And then I just took from, I did pull that paper out, the 12 by 12. I'm going to fussy cut these two elements. He'd be cool too on the end, but I'm going to go ahead and use just like I use this one on the other one. And again, don't worry about the fussy cutting being perfect. I'm not going to go around her per se. I'm going to leave a little bit of the cardstock there. We'll go back and get into those grooves if you want. I am going to leave just a hair of the border of the antique looking paper. Remember, move your paper, not your scissors. You know, I do have some of those hot glue finger caps, but I don't know where they're at. We ended up using them to sort paper. They work really well for that too. And I got to find them. So I'm just kind of going around. There's like fireworks coming out from behind. Actually, we don't need to go into anything, but we do need to ink the edges to blend it all in. And I'll just put that on the side of the frame. So for this, I'm going to use a little glue. Oh, I can't fussy cut, Tiffany. I'm just cutting. And you know what really helps the fussy cutting is these scissors. I can't fussy cut. I got some hot glue there. I'm just going to take it off the frame. And I really liked this union. I didn't worry about that side because we can tuck that kind of inside of the frame if you want to use that. It's just one of those other layers. You're at the beach? I thought you weren't going to the beach. I thought you were doing your laundry on the rocks at the lake or at the river. See, Sally, you lieth again. Oh, come on. I know the weather has been so crazy nationwide. You'd think we'd be at the beaches every day. Well, we don't have beaches there. So I am tucking it so it looks like a layer back behind there. And then it just looked too plain at the top for me. So I did cut a 3-inch piece of cardstock, but it's going to be way too thick. So let's cut this down because we're going to make a little valance, maybe. Let's go ahead and punch it first. After I cut my 5 7/8 widths, a width, to go across the top. It says Sweetland. So what I'm going to do, I don't want to cut that. I am going to cut the bottom. It's 3 inches. I want to cut an inch off. And you can use any border punch. I have this really old one. It's a Martha Stewart. I mean, it's been around a long time. And I just thought it would look good as a top to this. You know, the old gingerbread and stuff on the houses. And it does make some cool curlicue things. And it's going to sit at the top. Now that looks perfect with the Sweet Land of Liberty. So get your punches out. Pick out, or if you, with your Cricut, and just do about a 2-inch bordered piece for the top. Love the blue. And again, if you want to wrap some of the ribbon you're using around, sure you are. But on this one, I could go up a little bit. We gotta add it. We gotta add it. I just used score tape last time, but it's just not staying on. So I'll do some hot glue quickly. Work fast. I'm not going to wrap it, otherwise it'll be too bulky. Keep those. Thank you, Alice. I really like this paper. I'm just trying to get some glue in the spots here to hold my little topper down. Right there on the matting. We'll clean up the glue. I love the blue. I know it's hard for you to see that new Tim Holtz blue. Didn't go heavy with it. I just wanted enough to make it kind of give the illusion that maybe it's a curtain at the top. And this one I did, see, so it looks totally different. The frame's white. I like the brown frame a lot. Smaller frame, but in the package of the Tim Holtz frames. And then this topper piece, I'm going to cut one from the border here in just a second. This was actually from the cover sheet. you know, those different layers we have on the cover sheets. So where this one isn't, it just kind of gives two different looks, two different neighbors' houses. Kind of cool. So I'm going to just take my punch here. And it doesn't matter. I'll just take a piece of this. Whoops. I need the paper. So what I did is I just cut this. You won't see that. And then I'll just have to angle that off. Kind of trim them off to match. And then we can even tuck that down there if you want. This one I'm not going to, because my bow brought this up. This one had some space there. And I had actually put this on top of the frame. So I didn't with this one, just to kind of give you an idea. It would look, you know, sticking out if it was at the top. So this makes just a cute little adornment you can do with your punches. And this is a great punch for that. So again, I could tuck it if I wanted somewhere. If you needed to add just some more layers. Which probably on the cover I will, but you won't even see it back behind here now. So that's what you can do with your punches. Just cut off the really, really neat pieces and then put them there. And that then is our pages. Our pages, except for you just have some decorating, and we'll make the rosettes on Thursday. If you want to go back and do any decorating, that is where we're at on our pages. We're done. And again, just, you know, I'll have these cut and ready for Thursday. We'll decorate there, and we will create this front cover on Thursday, but we can go ahead and do this back page, and then we'll be done. And what I did there, again, I just had put down, originally I took this one, but this side, and I thought, no, it didn't look good. It just looked plain. And so I cut this at 6 3/8 by 8 3/8. Then what I did is I thought, no, this just looks too plain. And I added this Liberty. I actually cut it as a strip to 1.5 inch to go in the center. These 1/2 strips. And then again, these are 3/4 inch strips of the blue just to break it up. And then I just fussy cut. I cut it from here. That's why I saved this. I just fussy cut this out and put it at the top. And that's it. You could also, of course, this one's kind of big for this. We didn't use it inside. But that is all there is to that. So just cut your matting at 6 3/8, 6 3/8 by 8 3/8. And like I said, then the Liberty, I cut it and put it in the, I cut the strip. It just, actually, this isn't the sheet I used. I used an 8 by 8. This is smaller. So this is from the 8 by 8 sheet, the back side. It just didn't look like enough. I was just going to leave it. And then just do your 3/4 inch strips from the blue, 1/2 inch from your navy cardstock. Fussy cut this out with the photos, with the stamp. And that's it. That's all I did for our back page. So guys, that's where I'm going to leave you. And then on Thursday, we'll do the inside front cover, we'll do the cover, and we are done. And then you can go on, of course, and add more, do more. You might even want to add inserts. So don't forget your pages are open. I've kind of gotten out of adding inserts because the pages really are, especially when you're adding all these flips and flaps like we did here. And with this one, when you start adding layers, your pages get really heavy and it kind of squishes them together, if you know what I mean. But you certainly can add now your inserts into the center, into the middle of the pages if you like. So I'll see you Thursday then at 11 and we'll be completely done. Again, I just went through, I didn't mat this, but I did get it done so you guys can see. Just mat your waterfall if you're there. And we're going to be done. Make your little tags to go in your pockets. And we'll be completely done on Thursday at 11 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. See you then, guys. Bye-bye.